Hello, friends. Good to be back with you with lesson 2 of unit 2. And this is in continuation to lesson 1. We are going to talk about how to price. So, in the last session in lesson 1, we talked about pricing analysis in detail. Here, we will be looking at what are the tools and strategies for pricing your products. So, we are going to look at the purpose of price strategy, tools for price strategy, price quality metrics, which can be price value metrics also, which we saw earlier, and the pricing strategies, which I'll discuss in detail with you. So let's start with the why you need pricing strategy. What is the purpose of pricing strategy? Now the question is it important to charge the right price? Because if you don't charge the right price, then you are not going to be sustainable in that business. So let us try to understand this through one example. For example, you are anywhere in the hills and you would like to start a French cafe. And you have a French friend who is your chef who knows all the French cuisines. And in this cafe, the pancakes and all the French bakery items this chef is known for, you are going to provide. Now, this chef is not aware of the pricing, how to put the price to the products which he is making in this French cafe. Now, in order to decide the price, let us think about that you just put it over there, all you can eat for £1, $1, right, or €1, right? This is what you have. So, this is what you're putting outside your cafe. Now, the people, they will get confused with this because you're not trying to position yourself in the market for the consumers which you'd like to attract. And what is that value, what is that differentiation that you're creating through the products that you're selling in this French cafe. So also we'll talk about other factors. So the first is you have to position yourself where you would like to position your French cafe, and based on that you will come out with a price. The second thing is you need to know the paying capacity of the consumers in that particular market segment that you have identified which you are targeting. And if you remember, your strategy has to be aligned with the price, or your price should be aligned with the strategy framework. You also want to earn some money. You have certain goals, the firm's objectives. You need to meet those. So the positioning, the paying capacity of the consumer, the goal set for, objectives set for French cafe, and also the income that you would like to generate, which is your margin. So in nutshell, what you would like to do is you would like to look at the positioning, the marketing mix, willingness and ability to pay, the profit and the goals. And all these factors will make you decide the price. Am I right? So that is why you need the pricing strategy. And that is what we wanted to talk about. Now, what are the tools which you use for pricing? So you have done all these tools in detail, and we discussed the price elasticity. Then cost-oriented pricing, we talked about cost, so it is that. Competitive oriented pricing, we'll be talking more about in strategy as to competitor driven pricing. Marketing oriented pricing, we'll talk about that. Penetration strategy, I want to penetrate, we discussed that, penetration pricing. And strategic objectives, I want to build, hold, harvest and reposition. So we have that BCG metrics where you talked about that, where your product fits in. Based on that, you price the product according to not only the strategic objectives but the market oriented pricing for that particular target which you have identified with the STP. The last one is market characteristics, pros and cons of high-low prices. So that will be how the market is behaving, and based on that you take your decisions on pricing. So these are some of the tools which you use in analytics to come out with the pricing strategy. And we'll take some examples also. Now, let me explain through one metrics as to how the companies take these decisions. Now, how to position yourself, because positioning is very important. Based on positioning, as we saw there, then you put the price. So the positioning, again, I go back to price and value metrics. So here, instead of the value, I'm taking the quality, price, quality metrics. So you need to define your perfect audience. How? Let us try to look at through some examples. So this is your metrics where you have price and quality. So the first box, the quadrant on the right bottom, is where the quality is, I would say, good and the price is low. We call this quadrant as in PQ metrics as value for money. So here you are providing the maximum value at the price at which you would like to give that product. So you position yourself that you would like to be in this quadrant. Pricing comes later on, remember. So value for money is good quality, low price. The two examples are Maruti Suzuki and Relaxo. Now Relaxo has been in the market for many years now, similarly Maruti Suzuki, and people always feel, and that is why the resale value of Maruti Suzuki is the highest, because they feel they offer the value for money. Relaxo, durable, lot of variety available in their chappals. So these are the two examples which fit value for money quadrant. So let's talk about where the price is high and the quality is low, the worst one. So the poorest quality and very high price. Opportunistic market, we call it. So do you think there will be anything which falls here? Can you think of any such circumstances of the markets that fall in this? Yes. So this is the market where the customer is not regular, is not coming there every day. Customer may go there once a while. This is like at the railway stations, the airports, the highway dhabbas, tourist places, or to the malls, or to the movie theaters, where you're not going regularly or every day. So here, they try to mint the money once from you. And for you also, it is a one-time purchase, and it is opportunistic market. That means you are going to buy, and they can charge anything for the product. You go to see a movie, you go out, you are thirsty, you want a coffee or tea, they may charge anything for it. So this is the opportunistic market. So let's talk about the third one, which is the bottom left, Chinese goods market, where the price is low and the quality is also low. So you know about all the Chinese products, whether these are Diwali lights, Chinese toys. So they are cheap, quality is not very good, and again, you don't want it as something which is very durable. For example, for the children toys, children don't want to play with the same toys again and again, so it's a one-time play, so they'll buy it. The quality is poor and the price is low. Then comes your premium market. So would you like to position yourself there because it is high price and high quality? Because everything, the strategy of the company has to be accordingly where you position yourself. So this is the premium market. So high price, high quality. So what says US Vuitton, Gucci. So all these products, if you have heard about these, this is the premium segment. This is the premium market, where the actual cost of the product maybe for a purse or a dress or a shoe is 7,000 Indian rupees, but they sell it for 70,000. So that is the premium market. And they don't look for huge volumes. They are happy with the a very targeted premium segment who buy their products. Similarly, another premium market product is brand is Apple. So when we talk about Apple, people just they go for Apple products. Some of them would like to have that brand associated. They want to associate themselves with this brand. Even the people who can't afford, they go for EMIs because the price is high. Again, they don't go for huge volumes, but they differentiate themselves with the value which they provide and the quality which they provide. It has to be very high, and then the margin is, of course, very high. Another thing I would like to discuss with the price quantity matrix is if one brand would like to move from one quadrant to the other. For example, from value for money, Relaxo wanted and has moved to premium market. So what they did, they have one brand which is Flight, which is value for money, and then they introduced another brand, Sparks, which is in the premium market. Now they knew that they cannot go with Relaxo as a brand for value for money as well as premium market. But it was very hard for them when they did that. Similarly, another example is Maruti Suzuki. They started manufacturing top of the line cars and they wanted to enter the premium market, and they came with those models of the cars, premium car segments. And they started to sell those cars from their existing dealerships. And people were not ready because people were looking at Maruti Suzuki as value for money. They never wanted to pay a higher price, even if the quality was high. So then they introduced Nexa, a line of dealerships. They have new showrooms on Nexa where they segregated their product line, and the top of the line models were available in Nexa. But it was again very hard for people to accept that, and they were pulling them down and saying, no, we want the value for money, we want to pay less and we want this quality. So it's very hard. And that is why we always talk about a unified brand, and they stay in one quadrant and they work in that quadrant only. Now I'll talk about how to price a product, because that is what this lesson is all about, and I would like to talk about 7 pricing strategies, their pros and cons. So start with the first, price to your competition. When we talk about price to your competition, so what you do is you check what your competitor is doing or what your competitors are doing, and generally we have seen what we do is we take the pricing of each competitor, averages down, and then we say this will be our price. The negative side of this is you're always reacting. You are always reacting. If the competitor has lowered the price, as we have seen in Coca-Cola and Pepsi, you lower the price. If they have raised the price, you raise the price. So you are always reacting to the competitors, and you are never a leader, right, in the market. Then the second, when we look at, is price to pay the bills. So that means it is at cost, and maybe you are entering a new market and you don't know, you don't have many competitors there, and you want to test the market, or maybe you want to just reach the break even fast, and then you can think of a new pricing strategy. So this works there well, right? So the third one I would like to talk about is price to time. Uh, Very prevalent, and in a lot of sectors it is used. Especially we talk about we'll pay you per hour, we'll pay you per day, we'll pay you per week, or we pay you the prices per month. Okay, so for example, we say this is a project and we'll pay you $50 an hour. Now, since we are moving from job economy to skill economy, so it has a very negative thing in it, which is what I call as conflict of interest. Now, for example, you have to work for 8 hours and you are given some assignment and you are doing it, and you say, I'll be charging hourly basis. Although you can finish in say 6 hours, but you bill it for 10 hours because the standard is 10 hours. So there is a conflict of interest of the client and you working on that project, because the client wants this work to be done fast and at least cost, and whereas you are trying to increase the time because that is how you are being paid, and also you want to increase the cost. There is a saying which I firmly believe is no fee is too high for success, and almost any fee is too high for failure. So for anything we look for results. So this price to time is very much used, but there is a conflict of interest between the client and you. So I would like to talk about the fourth strategy, which is price to cost plus. Price to cost plus is that you identify the cost and you put a margin, and that becomes your price. And a lot of sectors use that, and especially in the construction sector, this is being used. Now, again, there are pros and cons, and again, I would say there is a conflict of interest between the client and the contractor, the person who is executing the project. For example, there is a project, and that is budgeted or estimated 1 million project. The cost on that project is say 10 lakh rupees, which is 1 million. Now you decide, okay, this project is 1 million project, and as a contractor, as an executor, you are taking that project and you are doing it. The aim of the client is again to finish that project on time, number one, and at least cost. And you have identified this is 1 million, and I'll put 10 to 15% on top of that, and that becomes my margin. So I'll charge say 1.15 million from the client. Now what happens as a executor, as a contractor? What I'm doing is I'm trying to, because that 15% margin is mine, that's for sure, and I try to reduce through different measures, maybe on material, on labor, or maybe on processes, where I can reduce spending on that 1 million, because that is my saving. So, but you are putting a hole in the pocket and you are compromising on certain things. So there is a conflict of interest. So if I say, okay, here is my budget, which is say 800K, right, 0.8 million, and you execute this project and I'll pay for execution, early execution, and I'll pay you certain bonus. certain incentives if you finish that on time, number one. And number two, that if you save on cost, anything that you save, I'll multiply that by 4 and I'll pay you those incentives. Now that conflict of interest is not there because you both, what you are trying, your objective is the same, to save on time and to save on cost. So, so that is why I say cost, price to cost plus is being used, and it's a good strategy, but it has certain negative things in it. Next, I would like to talk about price to the package. It is one of my favorite strategies, price to the package. So here you are not talking about price. You are trying to create an offer. When we say create an offer, that means you try to package value in the same price. So what I mean by that is, for example, you are working for a digital company, or you are running your digital company, and a client comes to you and says, I want to get one website developed, and you say, okay, we'll charge $100 per hour, or I'll charge a lump sum amount and I'll develop your website. But rather than doing that, what I say is, I'll give you a package here, and the value of the package is, say, 10K, is $10,000, whereas I'll charge you $1,000. So he'll say, definitely asking how that is possible. So what I say, if I take the website development case, I say, okay, you'll be needing around 10 pages of website, which I'll develop as my prime product to be given to you. And in future, you will be needing some blogs. I'll make a blog for you, which you can use. You may be needing in future the landing pages. So I'll be making 20 landing pages for you. And you want to have your email follow-ups. So I'll create that mechanism for you for maybe 30 email accounts. So all this is I'm going to put in this, and this is around 40K, but I'll just charge you 10K. So this is price to the package. So I add on the value in the same price, but if you want to have all the items in the package to be purchased independently, they may cost 50K, but I'll be charging 10K because I'm giving you a package. For example, all the telecom companies, right, the internet service providers, what they are saying is the broadband plus the voice plus a lot of other packages. They put your OTT, right, your streaming services, and they put a package, and you say if you go for this, you get all this at same cost. So that is what is price to package. Next one, I would like to talk about price to positioning. When you talk about price to positioning, so you position yourself, as we talked about the premium market segment. You want to position it over there. Then you put a price. We talked about Apple, so that is the segment. So you position yourself, you give that value, and you create the demand there, and your sales go up. Now, in case of diamonds, you might be knowing what they do is sometimes to keep that price, right? They manufacture demand, they create demand, and many times when again that the price is going down, they restrict the supply. So they control the supply so that the availability of diamonds is less in the market, the price is shoot. So you position yourself and then you become the leader, and then you try to lead the price. So that is price to value. Sorry, price to positioning. And the last one is price to value. Price to value, the simple thing is no one is ready to pay you if the results are not there. We all want, we pay for results. Now if I take the same example and I am running a company and you come to me as a consultant and you say to me that you are running the company and your revenue per year has been $1 million. As a consultant, you are telling me that the revenue of my company is $1 million per year. And you say, as a consultant, you would like to take that revenue to $4 million in the next 3 years. And if, as a consultant, you can do it for me, I'm ready to pay you X amount, let us say $500,000 out of that. Now, as a consultant, you are saying, I don't want to touch 1 million revenue because that you are already having. So I want to take it to, say, 4 billion in next 3 years, right? And if I can't, you don't pay me anything. So that is price to value. Here the interest of both the consultant and the company is one. What they want to increase the revenue. And here is a consultant who says, if I increase, you pay, otherwise. So this pay for results. Similarly, in the digital platform, in the social media platform, that is what people are ready to do. So that is price to value. And the value, we talked about price, cost, and value. So if you are able to differentiate yourself with value, you can charge any price. And that is all, my friends. And for this lesson, let me summarize. We talked today about purpose of price strategy, tools of price strategy, then price quantity metrics, and in the end we talked about 7 pricing strategies. So here is the small quiz. Be ready with your notebooks. Question number 1. For break-even, which pricing strategy is the best? For break-even, which pricing strategy is the best? Opportunistic market means low or high quality, low or high price. So you need to put that in. Best pricing strategy out of the 7 strategies that we discussed is, you can check your answers. For break-even, price to pay the bills is the strategy. And opportunistic market means low quality and high price. And best pricing strategy is price to value. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, any suggestions, any inputs, feel free to write to me and I'll be responding back as soon as possible. As I said in my last lesson, if you have not gone through this YouTube video, which is on pricing analytics, or they put the price for airlines, this is still relevant for this lesson. Please go through that. Thank you very much. And I'll see you with the next lesson 3 very soon. Have a good day. Bye for now.